I'm K Small.
I'm Kelsey.
And we are the Food Fixins. Get it? But anyways, what we decided to do was we watch and we love Sionk Young's longest videos. I know I just butchered your name. I'm going to work on it. But her videos are amazing. We're big foodies. And so we decided to make her fluffy dumplings today.
Yes, as you can see.
So as you can see, here are the dumplings.
So we are making the fluffy dumplings. My sister is adding water into a bowl so that she can warm it up because it's supposed to be warm water. She is adding 3/4 cups plus 2 tablespoons of water. And then we heat it up in the microwave to make it warm. Next, we start working on the flour. So she's drying out the cup because you don't want the flour to stick to wetness. So you're supposed to do 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. At this point, I came over. It's like, wait, precision. So we smoothed it down to make sure it was actually a cup or 2 cups. I don't remember the measurement in that specific cup. Because during baking, it's about precision. We're not baking per se, but it has to do with flour and stuff. You want to be as precise as possible. Unless the recipe says otherwise. Now, the reason she went and got another cup is because the glass cup didn't have the specific half and, like I said, precision. So she wanted to make sure that it's the half. Now, I like using the other type of measuring cups, but for time's sake, we just used these cups so we didn't have to look for the other ones. Next, we are about to add the yeast, which will be 1/2 teaspoon. Before she added the yeast, we thought about it and we decided that we want to double the batch because we were sharing it with her husband and our mom. And depending on how big of pieces you take from the dough, it would make about 6 or 7 with the regular batch. So we wanted to double it so we can, make enough plus save some for later. So this is me getting another 3/4 cup and 2 tablespoons of water. And I'm making sure, we have enough. After that, I get another 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour since we're doubling it up. I'm over here trying to be precise, like I said, but at this point, got over it. So I put it in there. Try to make it as close as possible. Not too much, not too little. But as you can see, I'm like, you can do it. I'm done. Your turn. Tag, you're it. The next ingredient you will need is sugar. 2 teaspoons of sugar if you're doing the regular batch. But of course, since we're doubling it up, we're doing 4 teaspoons. Next, we are actually doing the yeast right now, this time. And it's supposed to be, like I said, half teaspoon. But since we're doubling it up, we're just doing 1 tablespoon. We already had a half a pack open, but we had to reopen another one since we did not have enough because we doubled it up. Here's a tip that we like to do. Always clean as you go so you don't have a lot of dishes in the end, because that's annoying when you want to eat and you're like, okay, we're tired, let's go, but you got to clean up. So these are all the ingredients, and then you put it in the mixer and you add the water. Now, you don't want to start it out at medium because you'll throw the flour at you, but you do want to start it off at a minimal speed. And then when the water starts sticking with the ingredients, then that's when you can speed it up. Now, it's up to you when you want to do that. We tried a little bit and it threw it out at us, so we left it until most of the ingredients were together. But you do want to add a medium speed. So when that is closely together like that, then of course you can turn up the speed. But first, make sure you lock your mixer so it doesn't throw you up. Then turn it up. Next, I believe it was 10 minutes to make sure that the dough was completely mixed, but I will put the ingredients in the link below, as well as the original person who made it. This link. Okay, after you have the dough mixed, take off your rings. Take the dough out of the bowl. If it's like sticking to the bottom of the bowl, it's probably a little too sticky, but it's good. You take it out and you try to make it into like a little ball type thing. As you can see, I'm doing here. After it's in a ball, put it back into the mixing bowl. And then you get some saran wrap, a large enough piece to cover up the top of the bowl. At this point, my sister is making fun of me at how bad I am at ripping saran wrap. But, okay, who isn't? Apparently her. So you cover it up. And you're supposed to let it sit for about 1 hour and 30 minutes. We had other things to do, so we set it for a little longer than that. But it was okay.
Two hours later.
Okay, the dough should be good and risen. And you should put flour down on a surface. Or if you have like a dough thing or wherever you want to put your dough at. But make sure you put flour down so it doesn't stick to that place. So then you take your dough out. And after you take your dough out, you should roll your dough into a cylinder-like shape. As you can see, she's doing here. Yours might look different if you do the 1 batch instead of 2. But keep rolling it out till it's like an inch, I think. But like I said, I'll put it down below. And I don't mean the length, I meant the width, the round around. The length honestly depends on how much dough you have. Now it is time to make the pieces come off, and you make them into round dough balls. And after you do that, you keep breaking it apart Don't do too much, but you know, you got to do it in a nice amount because you don't want to do it too small either, because it won't be enough to hold the stuffing inside. After you have all them done, you are supposed to roll them out. Since they're already in like circular motion, when you roll them out flat, they will still be a circle-ish. It depends on how, you know, you roll them out. I'm turning them so I can keep them round. As you see, me and my sister, we switch back and forth so we can each do some work. We usually can't work in the kitchen with other people, but we're pretty good with each other. So yeah, roll them all out flat. And after you're done, the filling for the dumplings are ground pork and or chicken, your choice, ginger, fresh or the powder if you don't have the fresh, garlic, green onion, but if you only have white or some type of onion, just cut it up small. Rice wine, vinegar, sesame oil, black pepper, and oyster sauce if you choose. Me and my sister have 2 separate bowls because I'm not 100% sure if I'm allergic to oyster sauce, so I opted out of it. Now you put the ingredients in. It does not have to be cooked. So you put them in. If you want to cook it, that's up to you. Don't cook it too hard because when you cook the dumplings, it'll be like hard as a rock. But anyway, so you put them in, you fold them. We're not professional by any means, so we're just folding them how we want. I made mine look like little purses, kind of like the top. She tried to make hers look professional. At this point, I didn't care because I was just like, I'm eating it. I'm hungry. Let's just do it. So just fill up your ingredients and on to the next step. So add your dumplings in a skillet because it says a cast iron, but we didn't feel like getting the cast iron out. And some people don't have cast iron, so that's really your choice. Put it in the skillet. Put some oil first. Put them in the skillet and turn the heat up. Let them cook until the bottoms are brown. The browning of the bottom of the dumplings could take 3 to 5 minutes. It could take more depending on the heat of your skillet. So I moved the oil around a little because I didn't want it to burn. You don't have to touch it though, really. It's up to you. And I was checking the bottoms to see if they're brown. After that, you're supposed to turn off the heat and let it sit for 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, add the water and let it not all the way to the top because the water will get into your dumplings, and let it steam out. After that, it's done.
And so now we're going to try them and see what we think. Very good. I like the texture. They're really fluffy, and see how the bottoms are brown. And wow, very good. So if we were to rate this, we would give this a 5 on the food fixin' scale, and we definitely would recommend. So go out, try it, make one for yourself. See you guys later. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Subscribe. I'm gonna start a trend. Subscribe. See you later, guys. Thank you.